Hey, there I am. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. We'll be trading live right at the market open. See my countdown clock has just come on. Let me kind of get that up here. Maybe make that a little bit smaller. All right, that changes colors as we get closer. In regards to the people that are looking to get this clock, well, I'll make that announcement again when more of you are on. So let's go over what we're going to be doing today, what we're going to be trading. So this is a Thinkorswim layout, and this is what I trade every morning. We have a 1-minute chart here. Down here is a reduced day chart. This is the active trader where I'll be taking my trades. And this is the level 2, and this is a 5-minute chart. On here you have some custom indicators. I'm a very indicator driven trader. This comes in various types of indicators if you want it. I like the 5 one that shows the last 5 candles, gives the average range, and then it has a target for when you get in. So this is mostly used as a risk indicator, like get in and only go for the target. This is pre-market, so the target's pretty low. And the spread should come down closer as we get on a stock like AMD. That's one of the indicators I use. And this is sort of the engine that you get in. This is the Scalp Pro meter. There's like 10 variations of this. I know the links I'm going to give you to any of these indicators have various ones that you can download. You get them all when you go to the $1 Million Margin Club. So this is going to have the last candle's volume, the current candle. When the volume increases, it'll change color and make a ding from the last candle. You know, if it increases from the last candle, letting you know the momentum is going that way. Kind of like I say, you're on a surfboard, jump on it when you see it. It's very short term. Everything I'm talking about is very short term data. We're going to go into that, why this strategy works so well and why I am, over 80 to 90% accurate every single day. I have 2 red days this month. So we're going to go into that a little bit, but overall it's been green. It's been very good. And it also is going to have the percentage of which way it's going, and then kind of like a little meter too. So it just had a big move down, as you can see. And again, it doesn't work too well at pre-market. The other lines you see up here, the vertical lines, these are showing you when the other time increments are closing on different charts that people might be trading on: 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, and 4-hour. And obviously, a lot of times the more traders that are trading on a certain time frame, often that's the direction of the stock. So more traders trade on higher time frames than lower time frames, although that's starting to change with the 10 million plus retail traders. And if that PDT, lowering that PDT actually goes into effect, I think you're going to see this huge mushroom. Right now it's down a little bit because of the war, so we're seeing less liquidity in the market. You still have volatility, that's for sure, but less liquidity. So let's continue about the indicators here. So that red arrow is the buy-sell oscillator. Now you can get that to be marked on your screen. There's all kinds of ways to do it because it's based on the RSI. So this is going to be the RSI telling you if it's overbought or oversold. And then the MACD is the convergence divergence. So it's telling you. And there's, again, you can get graphs. These indicators are designed for prop firms to train their new traders so that they make as much money for them as possible. Make sure you guys are getting the right sound here. So arrows, no thinking. And usually the price action goes the way of the arrows. As you can see, look at that. That's the MACD sent it down. That's the MACD sending it up. This is the buy-sell oscillator saying it's too high. Now, I like the MACD is even more accurate than the relative strength index, but it's always a good indicator like, hey, the move might be over. Again, this is pre-market. The VWAP's on here. That's a really important indicator you want to have. And then this is the 9 and this is the 20 EMA. So I'm always keeping an eye on that overall. Although honestly, what I really watch with this type of strategy that we're going to be trading today, which is called the Strike and Recoil, I just want those to remain relatively entangled. I don't want to see them pull apart from each other like we're getting into a short-term trend that's about to become a long-term trend, because trend is not our friend in this type of strategy. We want a consolidation, so we're looking for a ceiling and a floor, and we need to identify those. Will they stay our ceiling and our floor very long? Probably not. they'll just say for a short period of time, maybe, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, where we can go short off the ceiling, long off the floor. It makes a channel, and then it will do what is called channel hopping and kind of go to the next channel, and you look for that same lineup. So we're looking for consolidation, resting. That's why this strategy works day after day, every day, because it doesn't matter the day. Somewhere out there, a large cap, mega cap, something over $25 billion market cap is resting and consolidating. We just need to zoom in on that, and I'll show you how I do that, and then get in there and make the moves. Now, share size is entirely up to you. I'm keeping it pretty low for everybody, and basically what I'm suggesting is that you watch me trade, although I am a professional quarterback, where I quarterback for traders calling the trades for prop firms and professional traders. I do that. I am not licensed. I am not legally allowed to give you advice in any way. You should seek the advice of a licensed financial specialist, not somebody on YouTube like me. No matter how accurate they are, you need to really protect yourself. So I have disclaimers all over the channel to let you know that you can watch me, and I know many of you follow me, but I'm not suggesting that that's what you do. You can just see what I do. And what brought that up is I am keeping it low because I know you don't follow my advice. I'm keeping the share size low, but I also have Zoom up besides streaming up, and I know they're trading 500, 1,000, even 2,000 shares based on what I say. So there's a lot of responsibility for me to get this accurate, and I love that kind of responsibility. So the other things that are on here before we get into strategy is this when I was telling you about the multi-chart alignment, this actually shows you, I split it up. So that normally this comes with it on the same chart, but I split it up so you could see 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. We're looking for multi-chart alignment to take our trade. We're looking for the perfect entry. These indicators give us that the possibility of a much better entry, right? Perfect, maybe that's a little bit too much to ask for, but the more indications of historical data that line up to a specific pending move, then the better probability that you will have a good trade going that direction. Only probability. All we have is past data. That's it. There's nobody can say this is future data. What we can say is that you get an edge on a probability that the pattern may repeat. That's all anybody has. So if you ever hear somebody saying this will move when it gets here, absolutely, no matter what, trust me, buy my course, then you know to run from that person. So I'm not going to get into a big negative thing. I'm just saying that this is the stuff I get emails about. You also have the QQQ, the SPY, and the SMH, which is darked out. Some of these custom indicators on pre-market have issues, but this is giving you kind of the breadth of the market, which way is it going. Now I have up here, I have 6 screens around me. I have up here where I can watch the SPY and the QQQ on a 1 minute chart, so I can watch. And these lines you see are ATR levels, and you'll see them on most of my charts, where it has the quarter, the half, and the whole ATR level, and that's the low, and then here's the highs up here. Right. They're actually duplicated. Do I have 2 on here? Yeah, I do. I left the older one. That was a beta test one. So let's get off one of those. Now my chart's going to be all messed up. All right, let's see. Come back. But yeah, I'll open up so you can see what else I have here on. And then I know the market's got a little ways, so I'm going to pull this back so I don't have to keep adjusting it. So I'll look at this for short-term data. Now, why are these ATR levels on here? And what is an ATR? It's an average true range of the stock predicted for the day over a 14-day period. Weld Wilder, a mathematician, came up with this many years ago. And most traders try to figure out the exact range so they can then plot their type of strategy that they want to trade. Everybody has their own trading style, so you want to figure out what trading style is yours, right? So might not be the one I'm about to show you, which is, fairly fast reflexes, and it's counterintuitive, but it does work. I definitely came up with the name myself, Strike and Recoil. I think that the strategy itself is being used and has been used for many years, in different variations. But we're going to have a specific strategy I'm going to show you that you can use day after day. And hopefully, if you can control the biggest indicator, the massive problem that gives you false data is your brain. So if you can control that and have a maximum loss per trade, a maximum loss per day, follow your day trading plan, do your logs, trade in a simulator first, and make sure you've been green for quite a while, a month, 2 months, 3 months, make sure it's all working. And when you go to trade live and you're using real money, if you get all nervous and you're sweating, that means your share size is too high. That means lower your share size. Even if it means go down to one share, I hesitate to say treat it like a game, but maybe in the beginning, that's what you have to do when you have no risk, like a one share. Treat it like a game, like have a good time, develop a passion, and then figure out the moves and then slowly scale up. Again, your own strategy. I can't give you advice, but that's what I did over time, and it worked for me. So on this chart, let me just open this up so you can see the other indicators. So I have the 9 moving EMA and the 20 EMA, and then I have the VWAP absolutely. On every chart, every 1 minute chart I have, you'll always have the day of the SMA. Okay, so non-smoothed out, not predicting future. This is the actual SMA, simple moving average, the day of the 50, the 100, and the 200. And if you see those on a 1 minute chart, they'll just be flat across because they're judging on an entire day. If you see those, you usually want to respect that level because it's all about support and resistance. Ceiling and floor is support and resistance. It's the same thing, right, with a different name. It's all about support and resistance, historical data. That is the #1 indication of a trade, and then everything else comes in to help you get a probability. So then that range tracker I pointed to you, that's up here. The MACD was the white arrow. The buy-sell oscillator you saw will either be green or red, depending on which way it goes. The market magnet isn't going to come into effect until 5-10 minutes after the market opens. I'll talk about that in a minute. We talked about multi-chart alignment. I have it split up between my 2 charts. Then you'll also see populate when the market opens all the whole and half dollar lines, 50 cents and dollars. Why? That's psychological support and resistance. That's a psychological level that people go in and enter their trade. So I'm giving you a quick rundown on what to look for no matter what style of trading you're using, right? So that's also on here. And then I just talked about the ATR, which is the triple. Now these are this isn't in development right now because I write code for Charles Schwab Thinkorswim platform. And everything needs to get approved, and usually I'm contracted, and there's a buyer. I used to teach math, and I coded for a long time. Thinkorswim's a fairly simple code. You can even go to AI and start doing your own codes now. It's become much easier, and I get paid less because of that. And this is the Scalp Pro meter, okay? So that's what's on those charts. And then on the day chart down here, which is minimized, I do have the ATR levels up. This just has the half. The quarter is the one that's in development. I'm going to explain to you why this is marked a certain way on AMD because I think I plan to trade that at the open today. This also, one of the most important indicators in this type of strategy that I'm trading is you have to have liquidity, volatility and liquidity. So you have to have price coming in quickly, rolling in the ask and the bid, ask and the bid, ask and the bid. I'll show you on level 2 here. And I like to have 100,000 of volatility per 1 minute candle, 100,000. And certainly 50,000. So there are indicators developed to give you the average, like AMD is 69,000. And I'll go over my scanners in just a second here. But that's what that day chart has on it. And then on the 5 minute chart, which I want to keep available here so I can see the little bit bigger moves. You have that multi-chart alignment, you have the market pulse, you have the ATR, you have VWAPs on there, and there's that 1 minute I was telling you about, so I can see on every stock when I move to it how much, right now the average of this, okay, taking an average of it over a 14-day period is 124,000 per 1 minute. Right now, it's lower than that. On this, where did I see that on the other chart? Oh, on the day chart, I guess, right? Where did I just see that? Anyway, you're looking for it to be at least over 50,000, Okay, so what I was talking about on the ask and the bid, the level 2 was typically I will check a stock the second I come over to see if it's going to be viable for this strike and recoil strategy. I will look either the ask or the bid, look at the cents, right, and see if that's going to move 10 to 15 cents. See, there's a big move just happened there. 10 to 15 cents in 10 to 15 seconds. If it's moving 10 to 15 cents one way or another, then I know I have the liquidity and / volatility to take the strike and recoil strategy. So what is the strategy in a nutshell? When this, like a stock goes one way, you see it depicted on this 1 minute candlestick here. When a stock goes one way, you actually go the other way very, very quickly for a short-term move. So that's the snake striking. Now you want the snake to recoil, right? I made it visual for you. So that's what this whole strategy is. It works day after day. It's simple. You don't need to be a rocket scientist if you can control the number one muscle in your head. I'm just literally like talking to you like you're elementary school students, because that's who could probably do this if you just don't get messed up in the noise of what everybody else is saying and everything. Now, it may not be the style you want. You may want to just buy a stock on Robinhood and wait 2 months and see what happens, or you might want to have a broker handle your money. Obviously, there's all kinds of ways to do it. But if you want to get your feet wet, not with your bulk of your money, obviously, not with your house money, to pay your mortgage, but with money that you can stand to lose, you can get your feet wet, do all the practicing things, and see, is this a way to make a living? So the channel is dedicating its time to try to make a living. $100 a day, $200 a day, $500 a day, whatever it might be. If you make $270 a day, you're making the average income of every person in the United States. So it's not that big of a jump per day. That's not a real lot with this strategy, even with low share size, to get to that target. This month, what we went for, and we've already made it, and I'll show people in just a second, we went for pay your mortgage. So average mortgage is $2,200. So we're there, we're past that. Now I'm going to get into why I look at these custom scanners in a minute and where you can get them in just a minute, but why don't we update everybody? So I was having problem with TraderView, who was reporting my trades. For instance, yesterday I ended up with, I think when I got off the morning session, I had like 195 or something. I actually did a quick trade and got to 207. And then I reported it to TraderView. Now, I already made a complaint to Charles Schwab, Thinkorswim, about my market orders not being filled when they happen. You've heard me complain about it. So you can, if you can present evidence, which of course I record and I can do, I actually did that. And they adjusted my account. Not a lot, but they adjusted it, which was pretty cool. The bigger adjustment got to be with TraderView, where I just basically deleted everything I'd reported and then redid it again, where you go to your monitor here and well, nothing's on here yet, but and then you click over here and then you download your the trades you've done, and then you move them over to TraderView. So what I did is I did do that, and it caught everything up, which was great. And I do believe it looks accurate. So here's my update. But then yesterday, it started all over again. And what they were telling me is and Charles Schwab, I don't know if you know, but they were down. The site was down yesterday. I went there to try to, compare it to what it actually showed I made. Like, hey, is it something going on here? Is it not showing the money I'm making? And I couldn't even get on it. But I think that's probably why it wasn't reported correctly on my trades. I don't know. But this is what we're up to this month. So that's pretty decent. 2,900, that says, right? This is on a little screen over here, so it's hard for me to see, but I think it says 2,900. And we were only going for 2,200, and we have this many days left. This is just the tortoise type trading, simple, slow moves forward. That was $9 and something cents. I don't know why it got lowered, if they're taking because there's no trading fees. But I'm sorry, I'm pointing to it here. You can't see, but I was pointing to an area there. But anyway, now the Studio Cat has made it so I can't get rid of that. So let me get rid of that. I can't see where the buttons I'm pushing. But anyway, so we're doing good this month. We're just slow and steady. That's all. Look, you can see, I have to address this on YouTube, right? there are some legit momentum traders, and most of you that follow know exactly who I'm talking about. You see every morning, they charge a fortune, they make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, and they know what they're doing, particularly one. I won't name his name, but he's legit. There's no question about it. But 95% they just show cherry-pick charting. They don't even show active trading in any way. Or I'm not even going to go deeper than that. So, try to find live streams if you're going to follow somebody and follow their advice. And just so you know, any and all income, you probably know, can be faked. The real way that you need to, and usually when they're getting into showing you their income, they're selling you a course, right? And then you have other people that claim, well, everything that they sell in your course you can get online. It's like, well, of course you, yes. The idea of a course is it makes it easier. Of course you can get everything online. That's not like that person's a bad person. Jeez. But anyway, your style of trading might not be what I'm showing you here, is what it comes down to. Same thing online. The real way is trade in a simulator, try it, and then develop your own style. So we just have about 10 minutes to go, guys. Let's cover the news a little bit here. And then we'll get into the market, why I'm going to trade AMD. So, look, everything is short biased again today. But, really, I've gotten deep into the analysts analyzing NVIDIA. I still have my swing on NVIDIA. My price is 179, so I'm down right now. But analysts are saying 283, 300, 360, 250 for that stock. Everybody, even Morgan Stanley's 250 on NVIDIA. So I'm definitely holding into a bigger move. I think this war business will pass and we'll be doing good. The average target is between 254 and 274 for NVIDIA. The high is 360 to 400. This is taking all the different ratings. And the ratings strong, almost all unanimously for NVIDIA. So that's just news. Do your own research, obviously. Tesla, another one I trade a lot, trying to call biased on. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to call NVIDIA long biased today, because you can't call, like I've been pointing out this week, you can't call it biased anymore. And really, catalyst news stories are not our friend to trade this strike and recoil strategy, to trade a consolidating large cap, because the news actually moves them. And the idea is that they shouldn't move. They should stay slow and steady like a big lumbering snake between these areas. And the areas might slowly move, but you don't want to try to figure out which way a trend's going based on the latest news story. But I'm finding myself having to watch the news. Most people have just fled the market. But, again, you can get these short-term moves no matter what the market's doing. But calling bias is kind of out the window right now. So Tesla is a strong bull case for $500 to $600. The analysts are totally afraid. I mean, mostly it's like a $600 range for Tesla. So it's low. But every time Elon opens his mouth, something could happen. AMD is neutral, is like 220. Bank of America has a buy at 130. Piper Sandler has one at 140. Roughly, the overall range is 120 to 140. Way higher. It's way higher now. It usually goes where NVIDIA goes. Usually when there's a big move like this, there is a drawdown. So I marked it like it was a gap almost from yesterday's closing, or yesterday's open. I kind of made a day gap, and then I marked the high. I'm looking for a drawdown or a peak up and then a short. There's our VWAP, so we're right at our VWAP level. So this is a good ceiling to start. So if it popped up, I would go short. I keep my share size low, and that's what I'm looking to do there. And then Micron, MU, that is, let me go a little deeper in that in a minute. Apple is looking at a 350 before the end of 2026. It did have some, because it's not updating Siri like people should feel with AI, it kind of had a slump yesterday. I still look at it as being a slow lumbering beast that we want to look out for consolidation. And then here's an update on NVIDIA is a strong buy. Tesla's mixed. AMD is a buy, but it's 120 to 140, so there's some skepticism there. MU is a buy technically at this level, but there's some scary there. And then Apple's a buy 300 to 350, so once cooler heads prevail and see that it shouldn't really be at 250, it's going to go up. Let's go a little deeper into MU. The average target range for that is 370 to 420, according to the analysts. How much time do I have? Okay. The medium is around 400. Remember I was calling out that range, 400? I was trading off of that range. High targets are 500 to 650. Low targets are 196 to 300. So you got to be really careful with that stock. So, that doesn't exactly move with NVIDIA and AMD and the chip ones, the memory ones. So it's just something to keep in mind. Here's what the actual big ones have on that. Like Wells Fargo has 470. It raised its target. Bernstein has 330. UBS has 475. Deutsche Bank has 500. And there's a bunch of other names I'm not even going to pronounce here. But so I think we're a little low on MU right now, but whew, scary. So there's kind of my update. Now I do have the news that's linked right to the stock I'm on. So I will be looking at that because I have to these days. Normally, I do kind of normally, but now I also have it on the SPY unlinked for bigger stories. Okay, so I'll be looking at that, even though I don't like to, because I want to look right at the screen. And then I also have Benzinga over here that pulls in different sources that just sees because it's such a fickle market that maybe we move by a bigger source. So I'll be looking at those along with the SPY and the Q. And then over here, what we're basically looking for to start our trade, once it opens, we want to pick our bias by which way it's going to go. And then after 15 minutes, we want to look back and see, is it kind of stopped at that level? Is it not moving? Like say this went down to 174. It right here, like it opened up and then it went down to 174. And then it just stayed there, 174, 175, whatever. And then that's when we'd want to go over and see, is it consolidating? Is it moving slowly? That's what we want to look for, is get a ceiling, get a floor, and just go back and trade that over and over and over again. So you'll see me do it live. Now I do afternoon sessions sometimes too. I feel like the market's easier to call for this strategy in the afternoon. Quite frankly, it's consolidated all day. That doesn't mean, that you can't have a move suddenly. I mean, at any time, right, you have to be prepared for your data to be wrong. It's just, unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast, right? You can't, you never know 100%. I wish we'd all be millionaires, right? So it does bother me a little bit, but I just stay away from it because everybody's trying to make their nut, and I get it. And they're more entertainment channels, fictional channels. I get it. More power to all of that, right? Hey, who knows I'm not bullshitting when I'm telling a story, or it's not exaggerated. I can't even remember. I'm old. So that's part fiction right there, So, and as far as live, the second after the market moves, 1 second, it's no longer, that stuff's no longer live. So, I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can look at these videos. What bothers me is that when they sell something and say, this will happen if you buy this, that's where I get annoyed as a teacher, as just an individual. But I don't care about all the bullshitting and all the storytelling and all the, exciting ways they show you how to trade. Just remember there's a fictional element. So the really only way is to learn to trade yourself. Don't really follow anybody. Find a style, look at that style, see if it works. And it takes a while, right? It takes a while for that to happen. Now, all those alarms you hear, you see that's showing you that the volume surpassed. So we have 2 minutes, guys. And I'm going to get into this. Wow. So this is already telling me I want to short this. Is there new news on this? Big risk to short it, guys, because you just don't know. This is talking about NVIDIA news. What's the market doing? It's just steady across on the Q and the SPY. It's showing up on the 5 minute here, but that's nothing to write home about. So I'm going to still trade this off of these levels. So the pre-market has come up here. You'll see that flash up along with the $1.5. All these are potential ceilings and floors, support and resistance. And I don't really think you can have too many of them because you don't know which one is going to be respected. Once you get one respected, then that's what you focus on for a short period of time. So we're looking for a strike up. I'm going to try to play a recoil down at this open. So 218.17, huh? I have 1 minute to go. Yeah, I'm not going to set it on the ladder. I want to control it. And I realize if I go market, it'll be a terrible, I'll push market. And 5 seconds later, it'll be 50 cents away from where I pushed market. So I'm going to have to try to go in the bid and the ask. And even that can mess you up on the open. Trading at the open is so risky and really downright stupid, but I find it exciting. I have nothing to go by. I'm looking at overall like, I think it's going to reject today. So I want to go short. Can I be wrong? Yeah. How much am I willing to hold into this position? We're only going for 120 bucks roughly. So if I hold into $200, it's like, boy, do I have a hole to dig out of, right? So here we go, guys. Good luck. Go green today, guys. What's my delay is pretty quick, right? Like 4 seconds. Is that right? Let me try that again. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds. Okay, I'm going to take that. Did I get it? I got it. All right, so I'm way up at 219, and I'm looking for a recoil. I don't know if this is going to take off today, so it's a risk. But what goes up must come down usually. So risky, fun, exciting, risky. I had to swallow when I said that. So all the $1.5 came up. Pre-market levels came up. There's the high, there's the middle, there's the low. And there is the high of yesterday. That is the high. So we definitely want to reject off that, or I could be in a problem here. Now, I didn't get into the market magnet yet, and we'll talk about that as that reveals itself today. But right now, I'm honestly thinking about adding to this position up here if it keeps going and then looking for a rejection. Look at the market, 700, the volume, 700,000. I think it might pull down before. Yeah, so I should have probably already grabbed that up there. Here it's coming down now. Let me adjust this. And I'm getting my little thrill before we get into the actual strategy, which is this is a recoil though, but it's not, it's on the open. So, really, it's the part of my insanity that all these market orders have to wash out. And that's kind of what I was betting on, is what everybody else was seeing, that there's usually a retracement after a move like that without real logic that should have gone up. So I'm not going to go for a huge amount here, not as much as I was down. If it gives me the opportunity, I could have made a little green there. The longer it takes, the more scared I get that I'm going the wrong way. What I really wanted was a quick back down again to like some big money. There we go. I'll take that if I can get it. I got it. So just 31 bucks on 50 shares. So that's what I got. And now, will this reject? You can see the market magnet working right here. This is based on the volume profile tweaked for a 1 minute chart, and you have to have it on the today setting right up there. And this is the magnet down here. And then the VWAP is where the bulk of the capital is. Right now, this is putting, the market magnet is putting volume combined with that. So you want to make sure that when this pops up, usually it's like a springboard that the price action is going to continue to go. When it goes down, it's a hammer down kind of thing, right? So I'm not taking a trade right now. That's why I'm not even thinking about it. I can't. I wait as we get closer to the 15-minute mark in the market to get into that consolidation. Back and forth, like pistons, just like back and forth. That's what we're looking for. Those levels, they're there. They're in one of these stocks, one of these large cap, over $25 billion market cap. Every day they're there. Multiple stocks. It doesn't matter what news is coming out of the White House, what's happening. It's going to settle down with these large caps and give you levels to trade off of. So share size is what it's all about. How much can you afford? I'm assuming if you've made the PDT, you have 25,000 in your account, so you can go to 100K. So 100K, you can buy quite a lot of shares. So you probably want to buy somewhere between, 10, 25, 50, maybe up to 200 shares, and then take baby trades all day long. That's what I do. That's when I say you probably want to, I'm not giving you advice. I can't help but talk that way like a teacher because I used to teach, math. Now people just watch me as a quarterback, and now you get the benefit of doing that too. But it might not be for you, obviously. So now, again, once this happens like this, we look to see, has there been a strong move? There's the open, here's the mark or the current price. What's happening? Intel's down a buck. This shouldn't even be on. It's hitting the scanner, but it's price action. It's liquidity is terrible. It's range for this. MU is up today. I kind of thought that would happen. Palantir's down. What's Tesla doing? Tesla's starting to creep up. So we want these to settle in 15 minutes or so and see if they just stopping at that price. It gives us a biased, like that would give us a biased up, but we want it to settle down. And Tesla's one of the harder ones for that to work on. But, and then I'll mark them and you'll see. Watch a bunch of the other live videos and you can see me do it day after day after day. And you're going to see me, if you're here with me today, you can see me do it now. But we're going to need to wait. And a lot of trading is patience. AMD hasn't even come back from its open from that big spring up. I would expect AMD to be a fade today, almost so much so that it'd be hard to trade it, but probably short bias. By the way, that yellow line right there is the SMA 100 on the day. That's why it's just straight across, because this is a 1 minute chart, so you're not going to see any angle. That's a whole day, so it'll always be flat. But did you see how it was respected? That's the deal, guys. So many traders long term are trading off that level, enough so that it affects which way the price action goes. Again, I get people, I can tell you don't know what you're doing because you draw lines on your chart. Well, that was taught to that person, and now he truly believes that. It's almost impossible to convince him that there's not only one way to trade. It's like hitting a brick wall when you run across somebody like that. You can't, that's willing to actually put out there like, you don't know what you're doing. Just like, wow. Professional traders, and I trade with a lot of them, they never talk bad about other traders or never say your strategy sucks. Never. They don't do it. Those are the people that make money. They don't do it because they know how hard it is, right? The people that are doing bad, they're all out there judging other people like they know best. They know best, right? Just the way it is. It's the way everything is, not just trading. Just, for those of you that are old and wiser just for the sake that you're older and the amount of data that you have, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter what it is. People get in their head, they get stuck in their way. They don't realize there's so many different ways to look at things. And I never stop learning. I keep finding new ways every single day. And I always say the best trader hasn't even been found yet. He's still out there. She's still out there. And they're going to pop up and everybody's going to jump on that strategy because that's working. And that's another thing to keep in mind as we're eating time here is that the way the market moves, so do strategies change, so you want to, you don't want to just get stuck on one thing. You want to, stick with what's working for sure. Once it's not working for you, venture out and see what else might be working, and then you sort of evolve your style. It's an evolutionary process of how you want to trade. Maybe trading this fast, just totally dread turning on your computer every day. So you're more of a swing trader then. You don't want to do this. I've been around long enough to have done them all, so does that mean that I know? Maybe not. Just through years of being around, you got to give me something for that anyway, just something. But maybe every decision I make is wrong. Let's assume that at all times, that I never really know, because that's your safest way. So we just saw AMD hit 220. Is it just going up here? I'm going to actually mark that level so I don't forget it. That's an even dollar level. See it, or that's a 50-cent level. That's where it hit, 220.50. Now I can read it easier that it's at that level. This is every whole and half dollar. Now the magnet you just saw pull up because now you've got the volume to move it, and that's the center line. Now I was starting to say it's a springboard when it comes up, and why would that be? Why would that be, right? Well, not everybody has the market magnet. Most of your traders have some sort of volume profile they watch. Thinkorswim has one. That's all this is. It's just tweaked. And they're reading it a different way. They might have it off to the right of their screen, and they're looking at the valleys and the cliffs and everything. And they're reading, oh, look, there's a void here, liquidity void, or whatever. And they decide they got to get out because nobody's up there going to move it. Or they got to jump in here. So they read it in different ways. Usually that's a step behind. This is tweaked 1 minute chart fast, right? So the reason that it might work as a probability of it calling out the data correctly, a probability, right, is because other people see it and then they jump on. So it moves because of that. That's why people are moving these. Levels are respected because of other people. Now you read Tom Hogarth's book, Best Loser Wins. He will tell you never follow other traders because 95% are wrong. He's talking about day trading, not scalping or strike and recoil or quick, 10-second, 15-second, 20-second moves, because that is moved by the crowd. But day trading, maybe not so much. He's onto something there. I like that book. I'd had some concepts I hadn't seen before. I have a link to it. If you get it through me, it helps support me. The other book that I like is Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. Getting into that zone, is so important, where you just feel it coming up. And I hate to use the word feel because you are reading data intuitively. You're reading it. You just can't explain it, right? That's part of where why people want me to trade for them or watch me trade is because I call it out. I've learned to see what is happening intuitively and call it out, and these indicators help me do it. But trading in the zone, getting that feeling that setting your share size so you can have 20 trades go against you, and still be okay. So important. So he covers a lot of stuff in that book. Day Trading Volume 1, a must-have. That's large cap. That's the first book that really centered on large cap trading, like I'm talking about, with an ATR range. And then large caps seem to always come back. They're not going to be wild and crazy. Maybe Tesla, but most stocks, maybe MU too now, but most stocks, large caps, mega caps, are just pretty steady. So if you make a mistake, you usually have a chance to get out because it's going to come right back to your level. But what I do for that, now this account was originally funded the beginning of this year at, I think, 42,000, and now it's hitting 50 by just making a little bit every month, right? And what I do is I try, if I'm going to hold, I might have to hold a swing trade at any time if it goes against me. So I usually want to trade what I can trade for 48, 50,000 rather than 200,000, which margin will allow me to do. Because that way I can hold that trade, continue trading a different stock, wait for the swing to happen. That's just the way I trade in case I make a mistake, because I don't really trade with a max loss. I make it up on the fly, not something I advise, but I feel I can trust myself, so that's why I do that. 99.9% of people should have a maximum loss per trade, a maximum loss per day. Stick to it. Do that. Keep your share size low enough so you can wait out the move. Don't get shaken out instantly. Look at, one of the things I do is I look at the largest candle, right? Like that candle's range was $2.17. Make sure the price action can go against you, $2.17. That's kind of extreme, but and you'll be okay holding it. So if that was 100 shares, you're into the hundreds of dollars. So that might not be, you might not want 100 shares. You might want 10 shares, and start that way, because most likely it won't go against you, the largest candle, and you have a way to get out. That's just one of the things I would use, and I have used over time. See what it is fading, and I kind of thought it would. So if we want to chase a trend going down, we could have a bias. Look, it held on. This is where the most often ATR that's respected. This is in day trading volume 1. And there's a reason for that all those traders called that out, that it is the most respected. And then the next one, highest respected, is the quarter, and then the full ATR, which is down here, the low, right? That's the entire range. But you'll see the half is, and that's with the RV strategy. You'll see that thousands of people trade that strategy, almost enough to affect this happening, because again, you're trading with the crowd. So watch that level, watch your pre-market levels. You can mark them out yourself. You don't need a fancy indicator, and then think about those as potential guidance. That's all they're going to be, is guidance. What's going to happen? So let's see. NVIDIA dropped. We kind of expected today to go down. Intel dropped. MU's now dropping. What's happening up here? Both the SPY and the Q are going up again on the 1 minute. They hit the, this is what I'm looking at on my 1 minute chart. Getting ready to try to find a stock to trade here, guys. So the Q stopped dead on the pre-market low. And then this is kind of doing nothing. I can read off of a level here. It's just SPY suddenly going straight up. Let me just look at news. JP Morgan downgrades TIC Solutions. That's Benzinga, covering a lot of stuff. Major news here. Circle could double to 75 billion. I don't care. Exchange equity futures. Don't care. These are all older stories now. Doesn't even matter. And then on this stock, here's the news on this stock. And again, we don't have any real anything that we can predict. Why is it trading lower on Thursday? Well, that they're talking about pre-market, so they're not even talking about the current movement. But it is lower now, coming back up. This is actually good that it found a floor. We may be able to trade this, up in this area. Let me see. Apple down $1. Amazon down $1. Everything's this. I put this over here. This is the consolidation scanner, right? So this is coded. This one's coded prices between $25 and $500, 100K volume per 1 minute candle at least, or that wouldn't be on here, right? And an ATR over $2. This one, number 2 here, is priced between 25 and 400, ATR over 3. Only 10K volume is needed per 1 minute candle, but within that 10K, it's moving 15 cents within a minute. Really, I like to see 15 cents within 10 seconds. Like just look at either of those and see, is it going to move that much? AMD is on that scanner right now because its volume's a little lower, although not right now, but I think it will drop. We'll see. It got a lot of activity yesterday. And then this third scanner that I coded up here, again, all these are over at the $1 Million Margin Club for like $4. I can't, deal with. You guys can just go there, and what I'm going to actually, well, this one is. Let me finish what I was going to say here. This was priced between 25 and 200, market cap 2 billion or more, ATR. I have my little notes here, and it's bent over with my cord here. 1.5 or more, 50K volume, okay, within a 1 minute candle. So all of them are giving us the liquidity. Regarding this clock, guys, and I got a lot of emails, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give this out for free. Alan has been scooped up by a company, and he's happy over there right now, but he comes here on the weekends with me in the studio, and I'm going to have him put the code out, and the $1 Million Margin Club said they will just make this available for free. And then you could just go in there, because they have a scanner for free too, for this type of scanner that, this one is free over there. So you want to go over to the $1 Million Margin Club. They have all the cool indicators. But I'm going to make it so that code can be just sent there for free. So sorry I said I'd email it to you. There's too many to deal with. I have trouble just answering normal questions. So my mistake. And I know a bunch of you are excited. It should be available this weekend. So just hold out. That's just a few days away. Okay. So we are now past the consolidation time. I'm done talking. We're going to get ready for trading. I mean, really, honestly, I like the look of this right now. I'm just worried. I'll just stay here for a minute because I like that it's leveled out here. So this is a level from the previous day. Where is that at? That's level 1. That must have been the first thing I marked this morning. Okay, let me just do it this way. Level 1 right there. Price action 1, I mean. So right there where it's settled. And then I have the gap and the low. So it's really consolidating where it did earlier, which is interesting. Again, patterns, guys. If they get respected, if you might be a winner, that's when you start thinking about them as guidelines. I would want to trade this short bias, so what I would probably do is look for it to come up here and short it and do the strike and recoil that way. And see if we can get something off that level. Go up to 100 shares. That's 1, 2, 3. This is about to be the 4th time. No, it might be a breakdown rather than a support. So let's see if it does it again. It didn't even go all the way down. Buy sell oscillator. RSI sent it up right there. You also have the bottom of the magnet right here. So it's something to think about. My spread 7. Let me just see here. Wow, it's bigger than I would think. Probably go in market just to make sure I get it. But try to time the spread so I don't get hit too hard by the market maker. It's just sitting here at this 50-cent level. Might just break down right now, and then we'll lose our floor. We need something consistent. Looks like it's going to break the floor. SPY and the Q are both going down now, short term. No new stories. Wow, it supported it again. Yeah, should have gone long. Had over 20 cents, 20 bucks right there on the recoil. It's pounding the floor here. It's river dancing here. Remember when that was, there it goes, it broke it. Remember when that was so huge, that whole river dance stuff? We got to be patient, guys. You got to be patient. I noticed that some of these have already taken that trade. Good for you. We're going to be a little bit more conservative. Wow, you're already up to $2,000, and you nothing on what I said. All right, so now we're looking to sell off that level anywhere near. I'm going to just take it there. All right, I got bored. I got into the oh, I lost money on that. Or did I? Isn't this where I had the money already? Oh, that was weird. Okay. Yeah, I actually meant to buy out, and I sold twice, and then I flattened, and I actually lost money. That was stupid. Stupid. I got confused for a second there. It happens. I'm trying to sell off this level. There it is. I'm going to take it that time. So I got it at 92. Terrible that it filled me way down that low as it was punching up. I'm looking for the fast recoil here, hoping that it's going to recoil. There we go. All right, so I did it because I'm using market. I'm losing money here. But It might not have filled me, so I'd rather just go green and get the trade. So that was a little trade. Again, it hit the center line. So this next time, I'd rather it punch a little higher before I go for a short. You know, just in case it's starting to channel hop here. Because I kind of looked at this as the channel, and then the ending of that channel is the 50 cent right there. Guidelines, guys. That's all this is. Guidelines to try to catch that quick action, and you can't count on them holding for very long. But right now we're getting pretty long, you know. This is Scalping 101. I really like this level. As long as this half ATR holds, it's an RV strategy style. I love it. So many thousands of traders are respecting that level right now. Market magnets right there. Remember, don't get too greedy. Don't suddenly do 1,000 shares. I mean, it could go against you, you know. And then how do you recover, right? Then you end up adding more and revenge trading and trading quicker and not waiting for your setup. Oh, I gotta make it back, you know. Just keep slow and steady. Slow and steady pays the mortgage, gets you to quit the job. You don't want to try to become a millionaire, you know, on a couple of trades. No. Center line's holding it again. I'm actually going to mark that so I can see the price of it better. So that's at like 14 cents. Now comes the real test. Do we go long if it comes down here? It is tempting to do it. It went all the way down to recently to 68 level. It's kind of making a flat top now. That's 3 hits right there. A 4th one back here. Well, I mean, these went through it, but waiting it out. Are there trades in here I'm missing? Yeah. It's harder to call them, though. The probability's less that they'll work for you. We just crossed the 5-minute multi-chart alignment. They're all red. They're sending it down. That's why you want to watch multi-chart alignment. Now, will it have enough volume to do anything? Let's see here. It's got 30 seconds to beat that, so it probably will increase volume. Yeah, it's about to, there it goes. Yeah, so that's going to even drive it more down, most likely. So data says this should go down, but it isn't right now. So let's see if it reclaims the data or if it recovers. 31 cents going down, 36 at, oh, see how that just switched? 28 going down, 21. So it's averaging these, smoothing them out on a regular basis here. There's the continued down that we were looking for. Now I have a situation here. I'm going to mark this so I can see the price of this too. Yeah, it's really at the 216 level. Man, it never quite. I held out for another pound down to go long. I am thinking of going long here and taking a chance, even though I'm short biased. I feel like at any moment it's going to break this level, but probably not this moment. And if it does, I would hold to maybe here and either average in more, which is, you know, whatever that is, 32 cents. That was it. Data is not sending it down anymore. Where's our VWAP? Way up here. So this is always going to pull to it. That's the bulk of the capital. The magnet is the bulk of the volume at that price. So these are both pulling it up right now. Except that coming in below the magnet is a buy signal. I mean a sell signal. I'm going to take that, guys. What did I get it at? 04? I need it to come back fat. Ah, see, that's the danger. That's the danger of believing it, that it won't break it, and it's short bias. So I'm in trouble now, What do I do with this trade? Do I average in, and wait for a recoil, or is it just going to keep falling? So I just got impatient. I'm not loving adding into this because it could go way down to the 50. I saw the data sending it down too, and I went ahead and did it anyway. So I have a $100 negative trade right now. Do we have news? Just the whole market's going down is the only thing we really have here. Holding out for a hero. I knew it too. I saw it and I just took a chance. It's exciting to take chances. Should have a goal for the day besides just max loss. Okay, I will buy into the 50 moving average down here. So that's at 58. I'll take a bigger chance. Again, this is me, guys. You gotta do it on your own thing here. My risk tolerance is obviously way higher because I'm trading 500 to 1,000 shares on a regular basis. So this is just like, the way the market maker hurts me on any given trade when you trade that level. So had I grabbed that, I'd already be on a green trade right now because my price would have averaged way into a better position here. So now it looks like the pre-market low is working as a resistance. I'm keeping that price at 1550. So I'd have to be a whole buck down to get my price average right here. So it's going back up now. What does data say? I mean, Maggot's still up there. VWAP's still up here. It's just longer term data says it should come back, but this could pull down now anytime because of how much volume's coming into this. If you look at this, you can see the sellers dropped off and the buyers came up. So this is good news for me as these drop. So, and then the volume increased as it was going up. So that's also good news. So it could be retracing now, which is good news as well. So we're looking for a recovery. I don't have a pattern here to call out from the candlestick pattern playbook, really. Nope. It's actually making a bear flag on the 1 minute, so that's not good. We need this to turn green here. Didn't make it to the top, so the buyers sort of faded here a bit. If I picked it up here, my price would be here. And it hit that twice, 3 times. So picking it up here, if it continues this current pattern, gives me an option to get out of the trade green. But, I kind of like to see this turn green and then spike down, and then I'd be happier about that. But that was a pretty weak green candle, but it was still green. See how it weakened? Volume's dropping as we get into this mess. I'm reading the news here for a second. Yeah, I'm getting ready to double down. I feel like I can dig out of any hole from this right here, but Let's see. Upside down now. Now this shows where I'm at. I think it's the only stock I've traded, right? Yeah. So at least I know this is all I got to watch. All right, so I'm stuck for a minute, guys. Unless I set this on the ladder and go look at something else. We're looking for a little bigger dip to add to this. It's just getting some support at the 215 even dollar level there. Watching to see if this gets to 1550 right off of that, because that would allow me to get out if it keeps swailing up and down that much. It seems to be churning right here at these price levels. It's a different way to trade because I was a swing trader where I scaled into my position, never wanting to miss it. Kind of that's what I did here. I didn't want to miss it going up. I got into it maybe a little early, but not too bad though, because that's the level we were doing, and I got it at 04, so. Yeah, so it would have allowed me to get out if I had grabbed it here for even money anyway. Now it would have made a nice profit. So I like that upward move, but I'm not going to get greedy here. Because of this anomaly, I just want to get out of this trade. So let's see if it can, you know, even if I'm green for the day, I might just get out of this trade because it is acting not like I want it to. Pre-market's calling it a okay, so let's see if we can get a pounding up here of any kind. Anything, come on, a little bit more. Yeah, next green candle, get support from the pre-market low. Let's get a green candle here, holding out, not looking for a big flush down again. I'm thinking like lesser loss right now just to get out of this. No, don't do it to me again. I want to go trade something else. Oh dear. Too bad. You can see, you know, better news on the long-term traders here. We're just passing this 5 minute. If this 5 minute goes green here, then we have across the board green. There it goes. This is good news. If this stays green before it closes here, it's 1 minute. So there it is. So that could give us some good news here to keep going. Some confidence for people. It's going to do its typical, you know. All the buyers did weaken there. Getting closer to the VWAP. Here's the VWAP. Here's the magnet. It wasn't enough volume down here to pull that down. So not enough liquidity to pull it down there. So again, I could be green for the day and just move on. I'm kind of holding out for a good trade now at this point. Break that ATR. Do not hit it as a ceiling. Come on. Ugh. You know you want to. You know you want to break it. We're all rooting for you. We're all here. Let out a big cheer. Let's go. I don't hear you. There we go. There's a winning trade, but kind of like at least double digits in there. Wow, you see how fast that would have, if I hit market, it could have showed a losing trade just like that. Oh, oh God, that's the 100, isn't it? Oh my God, I should have taken it there. That's the 100 moving average, I forgot. So that's a resistance. Didn't think about it because I marked over it. Or no, maybe that's not. Is that the 100? No, that is. Okay, I just made that yellow. A blue and a red make a yellow. Oh dear, see how the buyers dropped. I think I'm in for a little bit more pain. So next time it's green, I'm just going to take it. I got greedy. You know, there's a logic. If you watch it go down that much, you should at least be trying to make that much money. But that's not how this strategy works at all. It is not how it works. Just go for what you originally were going for if you can hold out the move. And I would be sitting pretty right now had I done that. But now I'm back in trouble again. So I have to think about if I'm going to add. The buyers are fighting hard here to go back up. Everything turned red. Any new stories? Yes, first matters. Nope. Well, you saw that I could have had a good trade and I didn't take it. Gotta quit moving the screen, guys. Keep moving that screen around. Oh, wow. Okay, so now. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. All right, so now I'm in at 215.40. Now it can really hurt me. So we're looking for a recoil. MACD is sending it down. I want the 50 to support it here. I want to recoil off the 50. It's logical that that should happen. I don't have to go anywhere near as far now to get out of this move. Right up in here, right here. Nice big red candle. It's going to hurt me. Let's see here. Now this is, I can hold this into a swing. This account can do that on this level. So I might do that now, though. God, it's so far, it's so high from what it was the other day, you know. I called it short biased, and I'm here trying to trade it long like an idiot. So I really need to get out now if it gives me any kind of opportunity and stop playing these reindeer games. I don't want to hold this into a swing, honestly. Yeah, please don't use the 50 as a resistance now. It's at 56. There you go. Break it. Make me proud. Sellers decreased. Volume's lower. Really hard to call this, guys. I don't know why it's not holding any level because it's fading. It's just fading like I predicted, and yet I'm trading against my own prediction. Thought it might recoil right up and let me out when I averaged in, you know. But instead, it's hurting me more, and I'm getting ready to get out of this. Yeah, I'm just going to get out. That's too bad. So that was a bad trade, but I don't see a sign of a recovery, and I don't want to hold it into a swing. So remember, don't do what I do. So I had it, and then I blew it. So that was just, should have stuck to my bias. I can't trade it when it's going straight down, so let's see if we have anything else to try. Now I've got to recover $200 somehow. Let's see. Tesla might be a shot. It's even here, so let's see if it's churning. Tesla gives me the volatility to, you know, to make the money. So it wasn't me. I hope you see. It wasn't the strategy. It was me that made that trade bad. Had I followed the strategy, I would have had a green trade there and been up like $40 or $50 right now, but instead of down 200. So just something to keep in mind. I hope some of you actually followed the strategy and made some money there. See if we have any levels here First of all, we're going to lower that down and not start revenge trading. So our high is up in here to 84, 384. Just put that there so I remember that actual price, or I can see that actual price. We had some consolidating right below that level, so that's 81.50 seems to be its kind of floor right now. That's a big channel. Tesla is one of the hardest stocks to call. So, I mean, everything today should probably be short biased, honestly. War's not going well, news on the war. Just take a look at the bigger picture here. Yeah, I want to go short anywhere near 384. We can get back $200 pretty quickly with Tesla, or go down $400. So. We got a good month. I don't want another red day. I rarely get them, and it's just been tough with this catalyst-driven market right now. It makes the indicators, which are based on patterns from previous data, almost useless. You know, it seemed like they were working today, and then not really, because they're just based on data that's just happened. So previous data. If nobody can count on it, then your probabilities don't increase too much to read them. I'm actually relying more on support and resistance levels during this type of market. So all that came in above the magnet, but here's the VWAP below it. So we have a conflicting data points here. This suggests that the price is going to go up, and this is sort of I'm not going to. God, I almost went long there. No, I don't want to go long on this stock. This is very near the open, actually. This price with the open was like right there. Yeah, so that's really, we could call that the open, honestly. That's right at it. Right here. You can see. So that's another reason why that's a good level to think of as a floor. Okay. The recoil action's really good here. I'm going to raise this up to 100 shares. It's moving slow enough that, you know, each one of these would be $50 then, each one of these levels. See the action coming in. Magnet pull up. Springboard upward. Should pop up now any second. Because see how much is coming in. Just past data. Just happened. Watch this go up. See if is the volume going to increase here? How much time do we have here? Yeah. So this will probably give more data to... Oh, it came up when I wasn't looking. So let's see if it does what the data says. MACD sent it up too. It already did go. Oh, it came back down. Yeah, it's just really fickly. The data is very fickly here. Fickled. Hopefully not many of you got caught up in that whole mess I was in. Still dropping over there, AMT, so that's one of the reasons I got out. I was just like, it did not look good, because I think it might pull back to where it was yesterday, so I was definitely going the wrong way. I looked at it and I go like, you can't get out of this. You just need to get out. Like, you can't get out of it by adding shares. Before it got worse, you know. I'm going to continually second guess that trade now for the next 10 minutes. I could have got out green several occasions, and I just didn't take it. Certainly many times green for the day. So you go like, stupid, stupid, stupid. What are you doing? Holding out for more. And why is it? Because it wasn't. Why do I feel I was stupid there? Because it wasn't reacting to the data correctly, and yet I was just like holding out, like a wish, a prayer. You know, once it stopped doing that, it's just like, get out of the trade if you can for the best you can do, and I didn't. So it was just no reason to think that it would keep going up, you know, and recover. I'm going to mark this line. So the even dollar was holding it there. Plenty of opportunities to get out if I went short, and you know, it didn't go down right away. Trying to break that 83. There's the market maker. I'm looking for a short here, guys. I kind of want a big, you know, boom, and then I'll grab it for the recoil. Head up like 50 cents in a split second. That's what I'm looking for. I think this is screaming out afternoon session for me, so I can recover. Unless I can start to get some trades here. It's going really slow. I just don't want to take it long. I should have grabbed it short up there, huh? I don't want to go long. I'm not going to do the same thing I just did. You get back up to 83 and give me another chance at that short. Excuse me. AMD is continuing to plummet. Well, I'm glad I got out of that trade. That could have gone really bad. Straightening up my back. So the VWAP's holding it here along with the market magnet low. So it's got some support here. Not enough for me to go long, but just reading the stories to see if anything new is driving the overall. I mean, right now the SPY and the Q are kind of slowly going up. Just don't know why these stocks aren't going up with it. Any of the big boys. Palantir's down. Amazon's up $1. Marvel's up $2. Apple's back up $2.55. That's good to see. Here we go. Let's see some of these different ones here. Hood up $1. Hood used to be a pretty good one to trade. You might want to look at that to see if it's got enough volatility, liquidity, I mean. But I think I'll be coming back in the afternoon because I don't want to rush a trade here. So if it doesn't present itself, I'm just not going to take it. I want a short up in here is what I want. The longer it takes to get up there, the higher I want it to grab the position, the less confident I am that it's going to go back down. That's definitely a lower low, you know. Lower low from there. If it stops here, it'll be a lower low. I could just start shorting it, you know, up in this level. Volume's dropping quite a bit. As we get later, RV strategies ending in 7 minutes. There'll be a big plummet in volume right around that time. Wow, for Tesla, this is pretty slow, guys. If this is this slow, and MU is kind of terrifying to go over to, that would be another one, but you'd have a huge spread, I think. Amazon's up $2 now. That could be our puppy to try to do something with. Again, I hate to be long biased on anything. Tesla's very close to its open. Was that its open? Well, open's down here. No, that was its open. Okay, so I'm right at that level. That's right, I figured that out already. Both the Q and the SPY are up quite a bit from their open. SPY is 654, it was 652. Q is 583, it was 582. Apple's up over $3 now. Yeah, it's just about to be $4 up. Nice, but weird. AMD's below 214. Do not trust that it'll come back and ever would have let me out of that trade, but who knows? I mean, not today anyway. So I did a smoothing level. It would probably be about like right there. That's right where it stopped. Just to see if there's anything. Wow, look at the friggin' weird range. Impossible to call stuff there. Should have gone short up here. Would have done well. Below the VWAP now. Yeah, I don't want to go long, and it's too low to go short, too far down. On a downward sort of mini trend here. Thinking I got to go to look at something else because this is just not presenting the opportunities I need here after getting stung. All right, let's take a look at Apple to see if we can short off of its rise. What is the news? Apple announces American manufacturing program expansion. Okay, so that's it. That's the news. Apple adds new members to American manufacturing. That happened at 9:05, 9:12, and 9:19. That's what's driving the stock. It passed the ATR half there. I like the idea of going short up here. Just trying to see the overall, what it's looking like here. It drew back once before. It had some support right around the this level here for a bit, the ATR half. So we'll see. Sellers are winning out right now. Going short as it comes back up is probably the better move on this. Let's see what it's doing here. Oh, wow, it's really slow, huh? I mean, it's there. It's just, it's 6 cents. There it goes. Yeah. Resting on the 9. Not an easy call here yet, that's for sure. Yeah, it's just up in the stratosphere for the day. But the 256, just above the 256, could be its top for a while. So let's see if we get an opportunity. If it punches up, if we get an opportunity for a recoil. It'll just take forever to make money on this since I'm trying to recover $200. So it's definitely the other thing in this market is just so many people are not trading. It's slowed down so much. Yeah, it gave me opportunities in the AMD. It just gave me opportunities. I didn't take it. I knew it was a fading market, and I just didn't listen to myself. Can you tell I'm hard on myself? Not for money, but for accuracy. I pride myself on accuracy, so my pride is hurt. I've been wounded. Okay, so we had a doji at the 5-minute. It's coming back up to test it. I like it. Break the 56. It did. And how high can we break it up here? Can we get a punch up here? So it was all the way up to 24. I'd like to see it get up there, honestly. Here we go. Here comes, see it sneaking in over here. Where's our magnet? Down here? God, we're way down there. Wow. It's going to pull up. You're about to see the magnet, I think. That'll give it some support. VWAP is far away. Yeah, volume increased right there. Just 3 seconds left, so. Interesting. Really consolidating right here. Not enough to mark a level, in my opinion. I think it may have seen its high. So I think grabbing it short somewhere up in here is probably a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and get in 97. So I'm ready to get hurt a little bit. Then now the magnet comes up. I didn't even see that. Yeah, I'm ready to get hurt a little bit up here, but I wouldn't want to see it break this for very far. So I'm at 97, just below the whole dollar. See if we can get it to drop a bit. Now all this price action's coming in, you know, above my price. Sellers are picking up volume a bit. Yeah, or not. Looking to add to that as it gets up into there. How strong is that going to be? It's too close to my position to add, really, so I just can't do it. I'm going to stick with my short bias call. And then scale into it with a level of confidence. Or not. So much harder to call in this market, you know. I'll take that if I can get it. Small amount at 84. There we go. Tiny move toward bailing out. How far over 200 was I? Okay, so I'm just a tiny bit over 200. That looks so much better when it's not over 200. I was watching this guy at SMB, whatever it was, saying like, when you start looking at your balance, you know you're in trouble. It's like, I look at my balance all the time. Every trader trades differently, you know. Well, when we're going for a, you know, I don't think looking at my balance changes the way I'm about to enter or exit a trade. In that respect, he was totally right, you know. But I look at it like I have so much time to try to get to the goal before I can't be on streaming anymore. So I'm thinking the afternoon's a sweet spot, man. I struggle so much in the mornings. Lately, you know. Let's see if we can get another short off this up here. I gotta wait. Disappeared in the magnet. Nvidia's $2 now, down. MU's $4 down. Amazon's sticking $2 ahead, roughly a little less than $2 ahead. I round the pennies. AMD's down to 212. Oh, I would have been hurting like $600 down. I keep, at least that part of me says, well, you did good there anyway. Get out of that trade. We will wipe AMD from the face of the earth. So let it be written, so let it be done. You cannot speak the letters AMD again, ever. They will be stricken from every stock portfolio record in the world. Can you tell that I've watched 10 Commandments? That was over... yeah, that was over 56, but it wasn't up here, 56.50. Man, this is really a tight channel now. I mean, this is tight. This is, geez, what do we got here? 83. Well, I mean, that's 40 cents if it goes all the way up here. Is the VWAP coming up at all? Slowly. This is short bias, guys, even with the magnet there. That story isn't that strong. It's announcement, you know. Cooler heads will prevail soon. Pull it back down. Consolidations on the SPY and the Q. No new news on Apple. U.S. natural gas storage, 54 billion versus 49 billion estimated, so that's good, I guess, but I don't know if that's really going to affect energy prices much. This is a slow, tedious grind that's getting us nowhere fast. It wants to suck me into going long. I mean, there's a lot of trades here, really. I just got hurt, and I'm worried about going against what I think the bias is, which is short right now. Even though it's up, I think now it's going to come back. Okay, looking for a short. If it gets up here, give me another punch up there. Oh, 8 on the market maker, 10, 11. Wow, it went up for a second. I didn't grab it that fast. Recoiled nicely too. I'll take it. 11. I got it at 11. It's probably going to spike and hurt me first. I wanted to get in and then ride it back down. I think it might go up first though. Yep. Kind of thought it would. 24 was its high, so we see a new high bubble here. I don't want to see that. Looks like it's going to recoil for me. Give me a recoil. Nope. It made a new high right there. So I've got it at 11. I would add to it if it got up into the 50s up here somewhere, but not too close to me now. Why? Didn't more news come out? That's not on the natural gas story, is it? Can't be. All right. I'm going for it. Here we go again. Got it at 29 now, which is right above its most recent new high. Can this market be predicted at all for recoil, or is it just not going to do it? Look at the volume going up, huh? Now come back to earth. You've run out of fuel. We're at the 50-cent mark. It's found a level. There it goes. There it goes. It was out. It was a tiny bit green, but yeah, I think it's going to flush more. There we go. That got to be a more decent trade now. See, that's how it's supposed to work, but yes, I will check my thing again. It's a little better. God, it's screaming to go long there, huh? Oh, boy. Already recoiled. Look how much it tested that and stayed. I mean, the more it does that, the more it makes me want to go long for sure. I mean, that big move just kind of because that's a higher high, made me think maybe it's not done. Maybe I should go long bias for a bit. Is anybody screaming, don't do it? God, if I'd picked that up there, what a great trade already. Now, to go short, I need it back up here again. I'm not going to go short at this level again. I think I will go long, guys, if it comes down here. Depending on, you know, what it looks like, how long it takes. $0.50. What was that at? Oh, all the way to 73. Wow. Is that going to hit up there again? I'll sell the ask on that to make sure I don't get a bad fill if it goes up there. Looking to short it again. Same situation. I want it to get closer to its high. There's a hangman right there. Just trying to see every possible indicator. Ever since 9/19, there hasn't been a new Apple story. And then this U.S. gas thing was at 10:30. I can't believe that's doing anything. So I don't think the catalyst is doing anything. SPY and the Q are both going down right now. Let's not lose perspective here. No trades in here. It's just, if you can carve out a trade in there, you're doing good, or you're really lucky. Half the people aren't here for the Zoom thing today because of other engagements. That was going to be at 11 o'clock, so we'll just see how that's shaping up. Charlie's handling that stuff. Woo! Wow, it keeps giving me 10, 15, 20 cents on the recoil, but I don't take it. I was waiting for it to get a little higher. Next time I'll take it up here, I think. What's that, like 50? That was it hit 60 cents for 59 cents anyway. Here's the old level, but the 256 would probably be a good level to buy at this point if I'm going to try that. It's taking its sweet time, boy. All right. I'm doing it. I'm going against my advice again, looking for the recoil back up. Let's see if we get it. Yes, that was enough. That was enough of a recoil to take. See if we get another dip. Nope, there it goes higher now. Looks like it wants to go up, guys. Any kind of a dip here. I kept looking to get closer to the 256, but it's swaling up 3 or 4 cents each cycle here. All right, I'm going to go in not in a very good, just because I felt like that was going to happen, so I took a few bucks there, just off market real quick. Are the dips over down here? It's going to go back up for a short opportunity. Yep, here it goes. Anywhere near, I'm going to try that. 55. I tried to get it at 55, canceling. Too long to fill. There we go. 60. I like that way better, and then of course that happens. That's okay. We're okay with that. 57. I'm short bias, so I'm okay with this. If it gets up to 57, I'll grab it. I'll add in more shares. Oh, it looks like it's going to go back down for the recoil. So let's see what happens here. Let's get a big dip. Just going to get out. It's taking too long to recoil, so I got out. I mean, I got out for a profit, but it looks like it wants to make another spike, so I was getting worried. See if we can get it back up into the 70s, 70 cent on the ask. Oh, there it goes down. MACD's sending it down. All right, would have been better to hold out for that, but whew. Got in at 99. Normally I would be very happy about that, but I'd rather be short bias is my thing. So that got me to 92. See if we can get it closer to, well, I was down there. That was actually a great position. I'm definitely running scared today after that loss. And the way this market is just not anywhere near as predictable as usual. Usually it's just so easy to call these things. Trump says he will take very drastic measures if the shutdown continues, gives updates on Iran operations, says Iran is begging to make a deal, not me. That was at 10:49. Really, is that productive language? 1 minute ago. I'm not sure what that'll do to the market, quite frankly. I heard National Guard now instead of ICE was going to the airports. That's his latest thing. We need a calming, I don't know if it's possible. We need calming information for the stock market. Something calming. I don't know if this administration could do that. Well, I think some of you went off to work. Everything's working here, right? Looks like it. Yeah, anywhere below 256, I'd consider, down in here, I'd consider a short again. I like a long again. I liked that position, but then I ran scared a little too quickly off the profit because I'm short biased, but kind of got a hole to dig out of, unfortunately, or this would be great for us today. Comes with the territory. Yeah, I'm going to not stick with this too much longer. I'll have to come back. So usually I look at 230-ish, maybe 3 to get back on. Usually between 2:30 and 3 East Coast time, I'm back on for the afternoon set for it's my third session, so I need a little. I work out in between too, and and I'll get this green at that time. Well, it got down all the way to 09, it looks like. That's the third red candle down. I don't like to see that to go long off of. Here's the bigger picture, 5 minute. I mean, short bias might start coming into play right about now, where it starts to drop back down toward the ATR. People take their profits and get out. That's actually what it looks like to me. It's making me hesitate to take a long trade here. I'd rather go short up here. But I'm looking at it anyway, just to get anything going. Closer to 256 I want. Even dollar down there. Here comes some price action right at that level, right above that level. Looks like it's getting some support there. I am doing bid because I want to get it as close as I can down there. I'm okay missing the trade. There we go. I got it at 03. And then it broke it. So let's hope this isn't the beginning of the big short bias thing. Short movement here. Ah, that is what I was worried about. You know, I saw it happening too. And I was just like, do we want it? Are we going to get a recoil here? It's right up at the magnet. It's hurting me. I want to get out of this trade. I don't trust it to go back up. We'll see. I'll wait a minute longer, but I'm just going to take a lesser loss if it keeps punishing me here. There's a sign that maybe I could get out of this. That's a yesterday level, right? I think so. No, it isn't. That's right there. Okay. Not as respected then. Toying with me. I just got out. Maybe it's going to go up. I don't trust it. Okay, guys, I'm going to be back for the afternoon. And there it goes. I could have made over $100. So what do we end up with here? 105 down, unfortunately. But we'll make that back up. I have confidence. And I will see you guys who can make the afternoon in a few hours, okay? All right, have a good one. Go green, guys. Be careful.